The galaxy had rules, even if no single species admitted to writing them down. Empires rose, alliances shifted, and when a world became inconvenient, too costly, too unstable, too morally complicated, the galaxy looked away. It had done so countless times before. Aurelian Prime was about to become one more forgotten name. High above its lavender seas, orbital stations went dark one by one as allied fleets jumped out of system. Their departures left faint gravitational scars, like footprints in dust. On the surface, the cities still glowed, unaware that the promises sworn centuries earlier had quietly expired. Princess Kilira stood on the balcony of the Sky Citadel and watched the stars rearrange themselves as ships fled. Her armor lay untouched behind her. There was no point wearing it yet. "They've all gone," said Commander Threx, his voice low. "The Valorian Accord has withdrawn support." The Tethari followed. Even the scholars of Ixis have declared neutrality. Kilira closed her eyes. Neutrality was just abandonment with better language. "And the humans?" she asked. Threx hesitated. Earth's council voted not to intervene. That hurt more than she expected. Humans were new to interstellar politics, impulsive, loud, and endlessly divided, but they still believed in ideas like standing by allies. Or so Kilira had thought. When she opened her eyes, her gaze hardened. "Then we stand alone." "Your Highness," Threx said carefully, "the Dominion fleet will arrive within 3 cycles. We cannot repel them without support." Kilira nodded. She already knew. Aurelian Prime sat on a nexus of hyperspace routes, a strategic jewel. The Dominion did not care about treaties or culture. They absorbed or erased. Still, Kilira would not surrender. Far across the void, on a modest human frigate that had not yet jumped away, Lieutenant Aaron Cole stared at the same star map with clenched fists. The recall order glowed on his console, stamped with Earth's authority. "Aaron," said Captain Ruiz from behind him, "we have our orders." "I know," Aaron replied. "I just don't agree with them." Ruiz sighed. "That's not how militaries work." Aaron turned. "We promised to help them. We trained with them. We ate at their tables. Kilira trusted us." Ruiz said nothing. The truth was simple and brutal. Earth's council had decided Aurelian Prime was not worth a war with the Dominion. Too far. Too costly. Too dangerous. Aaron felt something in him snap. Not dramatically, not loudly, but cleanly, like a cable under too much tension. "Captain," he said, steady now, "I'm resigning my commission." Ruiz stared at him. "You can't be serious." "I am. Effective immediately. You'll be stranded in hostile space." "I won't be alone." Minutes later, the human frigate jumped away without him. Aaron took the small shuttle down to Aurelian Prime, its engines whining in protest as it pierced the atmosphere. Automated defenses nearly fired before Kilira herself intervened, ordering a cease when she saw the shuttle's transponder. She met him in the landing bay, flanked by guards. "You shouldn't be here," she said, her tone controlled but sharp. "Your people abandoned us." "I didn't," Aaron replied. Silence stretched between them. "You know staying means you may die," Kilira said. Aaron nodded. "I know. Why?" He thought for a moment. "Because if everyone leaves when things get hard, then alliances mean nothing. And I couldn't live with that." Kilira studied him, not as a princess judging a subject, but as a leader measuring resolve. Finally, she inclined her head. "Then you fight with us," she said. "Not as a guest. As one of Aurelian." The Dominion arrived like a storm. Their ships blotted out stars, angular and cold, broadcasting a single demand: surrender the planet and submit to integration. Kilira's reply was brief and unyielding. Aurelian's defenses ignited, painting the sky with light. The first wave was repelled, but everyone knew it was only a test. Aaron was assigned to ground command, coordinating civilian evacuations and improvised defenses. Human tactics, flexible, adaptive, sometimes reckless, quickly proved invaluable. Where Aurelian doctrine emphasized precision, Aaron introduced unpredictability. "You move like you expect chaos," Threx observed during one briefing. Aaron gave a tight smile. "We usually cause it." As days turned into weeks, losses mounted. Districts fell. Power grids failed. Yet morale held, bolstered by the simple, astonishing fact that someone had stayed when the galaxy walked away. Stories spread. A human medic who refused extraction to save wounded civilians. A human pilot flying a damaged interceptor long past safe limits. And always Lieutenant Aaron Cole, no longer Earth's soldier, but Aurelian's defender. Kilira found herself seeking his counsel more and more. Not because he had all the answers, but because he asked questions no one else dared. "What if holding the capital isn't the goal?" he suggested one night. "What if survival is?" "You would have us abandon our own world?" she asked. "No," Aaron said. "I'd have you deny the dominion of victory worth having." The plan was risky. Evacuate key populations into the planet's subterranean sea cities, collapse the main hyperspace beacons, and turn Aurelian Prime from a prize into a trap, costly to occupy, impossible to control. The council hesitated. Kilira decided. The final battle came not with a triumphant charge, but with quiet precision. As Dominion forces landed in the capital, expecting surrender or spectacle, they found empty halls and collapsing infrastructure. Supply lines failed. Communications fractured. Then the galaxy noticed. Independent worlds began whispering again. Observers reported Dominion losses, far exceeding projections. Analysts questioned why a single human had remained when his entire species had not. Pressure mounted. The Dominion, unaccustomed to resistance without glory, withdrew. When their fleet finally vanished into hyperspace, Aurelian Prime still stood, scarred, diminished, but alive. In the aftermath, Kilira addressed her people from the same balcony where she had once watched allies flee. "We were forsaken," she said, "but we were not erased. Remember this day, not for who left us, but for who stayed." She turned slightly, her gaze finding Aaron among the crowd. History would remember that moment. Earth's council sent messages soon after, apologies layered with political caution, offers of renewed alliance. Kilira accepted none of them immediately. Instead, she offered Earth a lesson. Aurelian Prime would rejoin the galaxy on its own terms. Aaron was offered passage home, honors, restoration of rank. He declined. "This is home now," he said simply. Ending. Years later, trade routes reopened around Aurelian Prime, not because treaties demanded it, but because respect did. The galaxy learned that abandonment had consequences and loyalty, even from one human, could reshape fate. Aaron never called himself a hero. He called himself someone who stayed. And when future generations asked how Aurelian Prime survived when the galaxy forsook her, the answer was always the same. One human did not leave. He stood. And because of that, so did she.